Good old Elmer Barnes, banker and mayor T.U. Tidewater, and the entire Dry Gulch gang.
Hey, welcome to a special edition of the Gospel Bill Show. We've got some all-new, exciting music videos, and I know you're going to love them. So get ready to clap your feet or stomp your hands or whatever you do when you hear good music, because we got an exciting lineup of great songs. The first one is by my friend Nicodemus, and it's called I'm in the Lord's Army. Take her away, Nikki.
Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. You know, when you think about it that way, it's like we're in a real battle. What would it be like to be in a real battle? I may never march with the infantry, ride with the cavalry, or shoot the artillery. I may never fly over the enemy, but I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I may never ride with the cavalry, but I'm in the Lord's army. I may never march with the infantry, ride with the cavalry, or shoot the artillery. I may never fly over the enemy, but I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I may never shoot the artillery, but I'm in the Lord's army. I may never march with the infantry, or ride in the artillery. I may never fly over the enemy, but I'm in the Lord's army. I'm in the Lord's army. I'm in the Lord's army. I may never fly over the enemy, but I'm in the Lord's army. Oh, what a dream. It's so real. Whoa.
Don't go away. The music videos with Nicodemus and guest host Eugene will be back right after this.
Oh, welcome back there, darling. Hey, it's great to see you. Listen, we've got some more songs that I know you're going to like. Woo! These things get me really excited. They get my juices flowing, if you know what I mean. So let's tune in, darling, for another exciting tune. Here's one about a king named Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat. See, anyway, it's something like that. Let's take a look at it.
Hey, come here. I want to read you a story out of 2 Chronicles chapter 20 about King Jehoshaphat and how he defeated his enemies. Wait, I got a better idea. Let's all close our eyes and go there right now. Came and knock on the door, the royal palace of the king. It's our little King Jehoshaphat, who was sitting on his throne so much he just yelled out, come on in. You see, Jehoshaphat was a very good king. He loved the Lord with all he had. And because of this, all of Judah was blessed throughout the whole land. Well, that servant, he just came bursting into the palace, so excited he could barely talk. He said, King, we're in big trouble. Oh, let me tell you what I just saw. I'm feeling like your God is in you. Feeling like Just praise the Lord. We'll fight your battles for you. Nothing that he won't do, but you must be here now. That fella said, King, out in the Syrian plains, there are soldiers far as you can see. And they got spears and swords and horses and knives down at the sea, fighting heavy. Well, there's more about the Ammonites and all kinds of items. King, this don't look like no social call, huh? We're outnumbered about 100 to 1. I'm afraid they're gonna kill us all. Oh, King Jehoshaphat come in to get my mighty scared. They called all the people to pray. And God said, you won't even need to fight in this battle. Just stand still and see salvation today. Fear not. That next morning, they got up real early. Oh, King Jehoshaphat had the strangest plan. He said, instead of putting the army out front like we usually do, we're going to put the band. So the drums kicked it off like this, playing. Could I have a little bass guitar now? Yeah. Yeah, they started moving a little bit then. Could I have a little guitar? Yeah. Oh, yeah, they started walking down the road, and they were starting to feel a little better. And then the orchestra came in playing. All right. Oh, yeah. Then the choir started singing something like this. The Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Pretty soon they were praising God so much that they just forgot about everything else. And as they turned the corner down by the wilderness, the guy in the front, he just let out a big yeah. They looked down by the watchtower. They saw the strangest sight. There were hundreds and hundreds of enemy soldiers laying dead from a horrible fight. You see that all those singers and musicians began to sing, praise the Lord. The Lord of hosts ambushed that enemy army, 'cause his word is like a two-edged sword. But fear not, your God is with you. Fear not, just praise the Lord. He will fight your battles for you. There's nothing that he won't do but you. Fear not. Fear not. Fear not. Fear not.
What a song! That gets me fired up because it lets me know that God is my protector. Hey, you know what? He can protect us from a lot of things. And in this song, All Hail King Jesus, we can learn that God can protect us from sickness. Let's watch.
All hail King Jesus. All hail Emmanuel. He's the King of
We command you, sickness, to leave. Thank you, Jesus.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and all day Sunday. Grand to be a Christian, ain't it grand? Ain't it grand to be a Christian, ain't it grand? Ain't it grand to be a Christian, ain't it grand? On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and all day Sunday. Grand to be a Christian, ain't it grand? Ain't it grand to live for Jesus, ain't it grand? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and all day Sunday. Grand to be a Christian. Grand to be a Christian. So grand to be a Christian. It's so grand.
You've probably heard this word a whole lot, but do you really know what it means? I'm talking about the word Christian. What is a Christian? If you go to church, does that make you a Christian? If you read your Bible sometimes, does that make you a Christian? If your mother and daddy believe in God, does that make you a Christian? What really is a Christian? A Christian is someone who really and truly believes in Jesus. He believes in Jesus to take away his sin. You know what? All of us have sin. I don't care who you are. You've sinned. So have I. But there's a way to get rid of your sin. Only one way. That way is to ask Jesus to come and live in your heart. You see, he was punished for your sin. It happened 2,000 years ago when God sent him to this earth. Jesus was punished in this way. He was nailed to a cross. His body was hung on a cross, and he was crucified by an angry mob of people. You know what? God knew that it was going to happen. Jesus knew that it would happen, and they purposed that Jesus should die on that cross because they wanted him to pay for our sins. But the good news is Jesus didn't stay dead. He is alive, and he's alive now so that he can live in your heart. And if you'll ask him to, he'll come inside you, he'll take away your sin, and you can know you're a Christian. Just bow your head and pray and ask him, and you'll see exactly what I mean.
Next on the Gospel Bill Show.
Thank you. Nicodemus, just the man I was looking for. Why, you have got just the qualifications I need.
I do?
Well, sure, you have communication skills with subpar humans, don't you?
Well, sure I do. Huh?
I mean, you can talk to the common man.
Well, yeah, I can hold my own.
And you've probably talked to a miner once or twice, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, once or twice, you know.
And you would like to earn a couple extra bucks, wouldn't you?
A couple extra bucks? Well, you know, I was needing some extra money. I was thinking about taking Miss Trudy Lou out to dinner and a movie. But, boy, when I take her out to eat, I mean, it cost me an arm and a leg. That woman can really put it away. She's the kind of girl that needs to take advantage of these all-you-can-eat buffet-type places. You know what I mean?
Nicodemus, do you want the job?
Yeah, but what I got to do?
It's Adventures in Dry Gulch, featuring the Sheriff Gospel Bill, his sidekick, Nicodemus, the general store owner, Miss Lana, good old Elmer Barnes, banker and mayor, T.U. Tidewater, and the entire Dry Gulch gang.
Well, you know, J.D., I'm kind of surprised you're not holding a grudge against me for foreclosing on your ranch.
Oh, I don't hold grudges, Mr. Tidewater. Besides, that was 5 years ago. And you know what? By foreclosing on my ranch and taking away every cow I had, you did me a favor.
A favor?
Yeah. Well, what you did to me forced me to get out of the cattle business. And when I got out of the cattle business, I found my real place in life. I've been speculating in gold mines, and, well, I made a fortune at it.
You made a fortune?
Oh, yeah. $27 million, more or less.
$27 million?
Well, it just seems that I got a knack for smelling gold before other fellas knows it's there. Now, listen, Mr. Tidewater, because of you, I got all this, so I'm gonna give you a little tip. The Great Western Mining Company has an operation down in the Winding Stairs Mountains. If I was you, I'd buy at least 5,000 shares in it. I think they're getting ready to hit the mother load. Good day, Mr. Tidewater.
Well, thank you, J.D. $27 million? I gotta send a telegram. Well, good day, Miss Lana.
Well, good day, Mr. Tidewater. My, you must be having a fine day.
Just couldn't be better.
Oh, foreclose on someone?
No, something even better than that. My ship is coming in.
Your ship is coming in. Oh, you gonna be leaving us?
What?
Oh, just teasing.
Listen, are you a trustworthy person?
Well, yes, I am.
Well, then, as the proprietor of the telegraph office, then I assume that the messages sent are held in the utmost of confidentiality?
Mr. Tidewater, I know how to keep a secret.
Well, fine. Then I'd like to send a message.
Who shall I send it to?
To my brokerage firm in Kansas City, E.F. Sutton. To the attention of my broker, Barney Smith. The message should read, please purchase, no, forget the please. Purchase immediately 5,000 shares of the Great Western Mining Company and sign it, as always, T.U. Tutwater, Sr.
All righty, Mr. Tidewater, I'll get that right off for you.
Thank you, Miss Lana.
Oh, you're welcome.
And keep it secret.
Well, from the looks of things, that little banker took my bait. I bet he bought those shares of the Great Western Mining Company.
What fool buying to that mine? There ain't no gold in it.
Yeah, you know that, and I know that, but he doesn't know that. He thinks he bought into a gold mine. What he really bought into was bankruptcy.
Well, good day, Miss Lana.
Good day, Mr. Tidewater.
Listen, has the stage run today?
Oh, right on time.
And was there mail on today's stage?
Oh, yes, I've already got it sorted.
Good. Was there anything in there for me?
Well, I do recall something here for you. Let's see here. T.U. Tutwater, Kansas City.
Oh, thank you, Miss Lana.
You're welcome.
Goody, goody. Yippee! Well, good day, Sheriff.
Well, hello, Mr. Tidewater. Looks to me like the joy of the Lord is your strength.
Well, the joy of the Lord might be your strength, but my portfolio is my strength, and it just got 5,000 times better.
Well, it's good to know that your material investments are paying off.
Yeah, and this is no pie-in-the-sky deal either. This is heaven on earth.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, just how did you do it? Cattle or real estate?
Well, it was neither of those, and since you're the sheriff and probably wouldn't get into this investment anyway, it was gold.
Oh, so you must have invested in some far-off venture, huh?
No, it was actually rather close, just down in the Winding Stairs Mountains.
Now, the only gold mining operation I've ever heard of in the Winding Stairs Mountains would be that Great Western Mining Company. I sure wouldn't have anything to do with that outfit. Good day, Mr. Tidewater.
Sheriff? Sheriff,
Howdy, Lana.
Well, hello, Sheriff.
Sheriff, have you heard anything negative about the Great Western Mining Company?
Well, it's been a long time ago, Mr. Tidewater, but my Uncle Pete used to work with that bunch, and, well, he got laid off his job because the gold all played out.
Well, the way I hear it is that they struck a whole new vein.
Well, that may be. You know, it's been several years since I've had any information about it. But I know one thing. If a fella as sharp as you was going to invest in that mine, you'd surely check it out.
Well, sure. But now say a fellow like yourself was going to invest. How would you check it out?
Well, I'd ride down there and I'd take a look, or I'd send somebody that I trust to go take a look. One thing I know for sure. If they found gold in that mine, it's going to be awful hard to keep it a secret. That town will be buzzing like a beehive.
Yeah, send someone down. Someone who could talk to the common man. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
Well, I can't say anything about it now, but I think Mr. Tidewater might have made a big mistake.
Thank you.
Nicodemus, just the man I was looking for. Why, you have got just the qualifications I need.
I do?
Well, sure, you have communication skills with subpar humans, don't you?
Well, sure I do. Huh?
I mean, you can talk to the common man.
Well, yeah, I can hold my own.
And you've probably talked to a miner once or twice, haven't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, once or twice, you know, I don't know.
And you would like to earn a couple extra bucks, wouldn't you?
A couple extra bucks? Well, you know, I was needing some extra money. I was thinking about taking Miss Trudy Lou out to dinner and a movie, but boy, when I take her out to eat, I mean, it costs me an arm and a leg. That woman can really put it away. She's the kind of girl that needs to take advantage of these all-you-can-eat buffet-type places, you know what I mean?
Nicodemus, do you want the job?
Well, yeah, but what I got to do?
Well, what I need you to do is go down to the Winding Stairs Mountains, to the Great Western Mining Company. I need to know whether they have struck gold.
Okay, I should be able to get out there and get back, in a couple of days.
Not good enough. I need you to get down there as quickly as possible, and you wire me a telegram immediately.
I get to wire a telegram?
Yes, you get to wire me a telegram. Great Western Mining Company. Could you hurry, please, Nicodemus?
Okay, great. I should be able to get you word by, tomorrow afternoon.
I probably won't get a wink of sleep tonight.
I can't believe it.
Good morning. My name's Nicodemus.
How's that?
That's Nicodemus, you know, with an N. Nicodemus.
No, don't need any cookies, son. Had some girls in green dresses come by here and took real good care of us last month, thank you.
Hello?
Well, you don't have to get upset about it.
Can you hear me?
Well, of course I can see you. Where is that thing? Ah, there it is. Now you just go ahead and try and sell me something.
My name's Nicodemus from Dry Gulch.
Well, you don't have to yell at me. I ain't no deaf mule. What do you want?
I came to check on the gold you got up here.
Yes, it gets cold up here.
No, not cold. Gold. The gold you got up here.
Oh, the gold. Oh, tons and tons of the sparkly stuff. More than I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, really?
Oh, my goodness. I mean, more than any man could ever carry.
But, now, if you got so much gold, how come you're not very well off?
The well's out back if you want a drink.
No. If you got so much gold, how come you're so poor?
Well, I'm poor because that was 10 years ago. All the gold's run out.
Well, what do you mine for now?
Pennies.
Pennies? Is that where they come from? You dig them up out of the ground?
No, don't be stupid. We mine for copper, and they make pennies out of the copper.
Oh, well, do you mine for a lot of this copper?
Woo! We hit the mother lode yesterday.
Oh, wow. How much did you get?
Oh, best day we had all month. 37 cents worth.
37 cents? 37 cents. Thank you.
Well, hey, wait a minute. About them cookies, I think I've changed my mind.
Miss Lana,
What is it?
you haven't heard from Nicodemus today, have you?
No.
He hadn't sent in a telegram yet?
Oh, no. Matter of fact, the wire's been real quiet all day.
No. He's down at the Winding Stairs Mountains checking on my mine. Now, if that mine is for real, I am going to be the richest man in the territory.
Really?
Yeah. But if it doesn't, I'm going to be poor and destitute.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, I just got to hear.
Well, wait a minute. Listen. Think
Good.
that's Nicodemus.
Good. Get it down. What is it? Shh. What's he saying? Shh. What is it?
Please. Okay.
All right. Now, what is it?
Mr. Tidewater, Senior, sir,
Yeah, that's Nick. Go on.
I have some good news and I have some bad news.
Bad news?
First, there's no gold.
No gold?
But at 37 cents of copper a day, in 10 years, you'll need to get a new piggy bank. Signed, Nick.
Oh, no. I'm ruined. I won't be able to hang around with those high society snobs anymore.
Bank's closed. Mr. Tidewater? Anybody there? Not a bank holiday. Mr. Tidewater! Well, I've been out making my rounds, and I went over by the bank, and I found the place all closed up. The shades were drawn. When I knocked on the door, no one answered, and I know today's not a bank holiday. I've been looking for T.U. Tidewater everywhere, and I can't find him. Do you know where he is?
Well, I promised him I wouldn't say anything, but I don't think he'd mind you knowing. He made a large investment in that Great Western Mining Company.
Uh-oh.
Well, he just found out that there's no gold.
And Mr. Tidewater is probably pretty depressed.
I'd say pretty broke.
Yeah. Well, then I don't think he'd mind me knowing about that at all. I appreciate you telling me. Right now, I'm going to run over there and try to cheer him up a little bit. That's terrible. Mr. Tidewater? Come on, Mr. Tidewater. I know you're in there.
Go away.
Now listen, Mr. Tidewater, I know you feel bad, but there's something you need to hear.
I don't want to see anybody right now.
Come on, Mr. Tidewater. What I have to tell you will cheer you up. It'll really help you.
Oh, the door's open. I'm back here, Sheriff.
Well, I'm just real sorry to hear that your mine didn't have any gold in it, Mr. Tidewater.
Sheriff, I'm ruined. I am ruined. Do you realize I'm going to have to foreclose on my own house?
Now listen, Mr. Tidewater, cheer up. Things could be just a whole lot worse.
Worse? How could they be worse? I have lost every penny in my own savings account.
Listen, there's a lot you can be happy about.
Sheriff, it's money that makes this world go round. It's money that makes people happy, and I don't have any money, and I'm not happy.
Now listen,
You're not happy because you've been guilty of loving money more than you've loved God. Jesus taught us that if we put God and His kingdom first, that all the other things in life that we need would come our way. They'd be added to us. Mr. Tidewater, money's not a sin, and it's a good if you use it right. But if you love money so much that you put your trust in it, it's going to let you down. It's time you started trusting in God.
Sheriff, it's too late for a man like me.
Mr. Tidewater, it's never too late to learn that trusting in money brings big disappointments. You know, there are a lot of people who trust in their money, but sooner or later they're always disappointed because bad things can happen to money. You can lose it. And I want to tell you that God wants us to put our trust in Him. When we trust in the Lord, no matter what happens to our money, we've always got God. And if you've got God, He can meet every need that you have. So if you need money, you can trust in God and He can get the money to you. You know what? If you're trusting in money, nothing else, woo! You may be disappointed because that money may not last you forever, and as soon as you lose it, man, you're in trouble. So don't trust in money. Put your trust in the Word of God, because God's Word will never let you down. Hold it right there, fellas. Don't make a move.
Ha, 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 Mr. Devil. Ha, ha, ha.
Hold it right there, Luther. Put your guns down.
We've got the power in the name of Jesus. We've got the power in the name of the Lord.
Well, that's pretty wrong, Sheriff. I'm doing it.
We cannot be defeated. We've got the power in the name of the Lord.
What? You beat me. I guess you don't have enough guts to pull the trigger, do you? Hey! What's the matter with my gun?
Give me your hand. Let's agree together
In the name
that all our enemies
we ask you for
crumble
healing
at
in
our
this land right now. We thank you for that healing.
whatever we bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. And at the name of Jesus,
You give me back my
Satan has to
merchandise
flee.
now, in Jesus' name.
We've got the power in the name of Jesus. We've got the power in the name of the Lord. Though Satan rages,
Thank you.
we cannot be defeated. We've got the power in the name of the Lord.
This is the easiest job we've ever done.
Hold it right there, boys. You drop those guns to the ground real slow like.
For many years now, Satan's tried to stop us, but the Church of Jesus
Right now, you boys get out of here.
is still alive,
It's just the
like a mighty army.
Hold it right there. Hey, hold it.
Onward, winning every battle with the Lord by our side. We've got the power in the name of Jesus. We've got the power in the name of the Lord. Though Satan rages,
Howdy, I'm Gospel Bill, and this is Dry Gulch, USA. And I want to invite you to a week of camp this summer that you'll never forget. When you come to Dry Gulch, USA, you can stay in a log cabin that looks just like an Old West storefront. But there's a lot more to Dry Gulch, USA than just eating and sleeping. Our camp has more than 1.25 miles shoreline on beautiful Lake Hudson. And it's just a perfect place for a canoe ride. You can go fishing and swimming. But maybe you're the kind who would prefer to ride horses or ride in the county jail wagon. You might enjoy visiting Chief Nuwanasin for an exciting campfire story or hunt animal targets on the Chief's trail. Then there's time for a shooting contest and hiking trails. Hey, there's plenty to do at Dry Gulch, USA, but the most important reason for coming is so you can grow strong in the Lord.
For more information on Camp Dry Gulch, USA, call 918-234-5656.
Don't trust in money. Money can be destroyed. You know what? The Word of God can't be destroyed forever and ever. And no matter what kind of bad things come your way, God's Word will never let you down.
Coming up next, pride goeth before a fall, and Bud's headed for a big tumble on Father Knows Best. Then at 8:30 Eastern, Hazel's civic sensibilities are incensed when an elected official ignores his constituents' wishes. On Hazel, here on the Family Channel.
We mine for copper, and they make pennies out of the copper.
Next on the Gospel Bill Show.
You handle large sums of money on a daily basis. This would be an easy target for a man to come in and rob you. I'm very surprised, ma'am, that you can't see the value of a vest like this. With this vest, you could say no to that robber and have perfect peace of mind. This vest is guaranteed to stop any caliber of bullet.
Well, I really just feel quite safe now.
Oh, I'm sure you do. But I happen to know, based on personal research, that violence is on the rise in the West, and that any moment a man could stroll into your store and point a gun at your face and say, "Give me your money if you want to live." Oh, hi.
It's Adventures in Dry Gulch, featuring the Sheriff Gospel Bill, his sidekick Nicodemus, the general store owner Miss Lana, good old Elmer Barnes, banker and mayor T.U. Tidewater, and the entire Dry Gulch gang.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Well, yes. May I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for the owner of this establishment.
Well, that's me. I'm Miss Lana. I own this store.
Good. My name is R.J. Williams. I'm with the Peabody Personal Protection and Garment Company out of St. Louis. I'm sure you've heard of us.
No.
Oh, well, let me ask you this question. Do you feel that this is a violent town?
Well, no.
Would you say, then, that you feel absolutely safe here?
Well, we have a wonderful sheriff.
Oh, I'm sure, ma'am, that you have an absolutely marvelous sheriff. But can he be with you 24 hours a day by your side?
Well, of course not.
That's exactly why I'm here. I have, for your viewing pleasure, the patented Peabody Personal Protection Vest, available in pinstripe and purple, and it's only $39.95.
Well, I'm really not interested.
A woman in your position? You handle large sums of money on a daily basis. This would be an easy target for a man to come in and rob you. I'm very surprised, ma'am, that you can't see the value of a vest like this. With this vest, you could say no to that robber and have perfect peace of mind. This vest is guaranteed to stop any caliber of bullet.
Well, I really just feel quite safe now.
Oh, I'm sure you do. But I happen to know, based on personal research, that violence is on the rise in the West, and at any moment a man could stroll into your store and point a gun at your face and say, "Give me your money or I'll take your life." The Peabody patented personal protection vest, available in pinstripe and purple, is yours for only $39.95. What a small price to pay for true peace of mind. I'll check with you later, ma'am. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Well, Williams, did you make a sale?
Not yet, but she's well on her way to making a purchase. I think a little demonstration of your skills and talents would be very helpful at this time in convincing her and a lot of other people in this peaceful little town that they need to make a little $39 purchase of our piece of tin here.
Just say the word.
Patience, McLean, patience. You know that timing is everything. You'll have your opportunity soon enough.
Now, wait just a minute. Now, who did you say you were again?
It's R.J. Williams of the Peabody Personal Protection and Garment Company out of St. Louis. I'm sure you're already aware of us.
No, I can't say that I am.
A man in your profession not aware of the Peabody Protection Vest? I can't believe it. You know that banking is the most violent of all possible professions. As a matter of fact, there are more bank robbers and bank robberies in this country than in any other profession. And as a matter of fact, let me say, sir, a man of your caliber would look stunning in our pinstripe version.
Well, I'll tell you what looks stunning to me. Not having to look into the face of these vagrant traveling salesmen. Now, you take your goods and get out of my office. Who let this guy in here anyway?
Sir, don't you realize that you are making a terrible mistake? We are talking peace of mind here. Do you realize that the only possible way you could have any peace of mind is to own a Peabody Personal Protection Vest?
Well, let me tell you, sir, that I guarantee peace of mind in this town. I make sure that our sheriff is paid plenty to protect this town.
Mr. Tidewater, you are obviously a man who is not aware of the fact that crime is on the rise in the West.
I'll tell you what's on the rise. My temper's on the rise. Now, you take this thing and get out of my office. Pinstripe version. Now, if it had a nice plaid. Nah.
Well, I take it he didn't buy one, Williams.
No, but that's only because he hasn't yet been convinced of his need for our little product. However, I'm sure that if you were to perhaps display some of your talents, Mr. McLean, he and a lot of other people in this little town would see the need.
Be my pleasure. You know, I think our vest sales are going to go up dramatically. Give me your money if you want to live.
Oh, hi. I don't keep a lot of cash personally. I use plastic.
We're not talking plastic. We're talking hot lead.
Oh, I think I understand. Would this do?
That'll be fine. Have a nice day.
Oh, thank you. I could have been shot. I could have been killed. Maybe I would look good in pinstripes.
Why, yes, sir, a man in your position needs a vest like this.
Oh, I do?
Well, you certainly do.
Excuse me, Elmer. Miss Reyes, I know I might have been a little bit rude to you earlier, but I think I'd like to buy one of your vests.
Well, that's wonderful. Oh, but Mr. Tidewater, I don't happen to have a pinstripe version with me.
That's okay. I'll just take what you've got, okay?
Great. $39.95, please.
$39.95. Oh, well, listen, I'm a little short on cash. Someone just made a rather large withdrawal. Could I put it on credit?
Credit, certainly. 36 monthly payments at 21.5%.
21.5%?
Compounded daily.
Daily. I'll take it.
Now, as I was saying, a man in your position needs a vest like that.
What for?
Because of your loved ones. safer, how much more comfortable they would feel knowing that you're protected with one of our vests.
Oh, Wicky, and thank you. Would sleep a whole lot better tonight knowing I was safe.
Sheriff, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
Well, is that restricting your breathing, Mr. Tidewater? Maybe we can get the blacksmith to cut it off.
No, I don't want it off. This is a bulletproof vest.
A bulletproof vest. You're wearing a bulletproof vest.
Well, yeah, this is the patented Peabody personal protection vest.
Oh, what'd you pay for that?
Well, I paid $39.95.
You paid $39.95 for that?
Yeah, why? Do you know someplace I could have got it cheaper?
Mr. Tidewater, why on earth would you want to wear something like that? That's ridiculous.
Well, Sheriff, I've been robbed.
Yeah, I can say you've been robbed. You've been taken if you paid $39.95 for that.
No. I'm talking about my bank's been robbed.
What do you mean, your bank was robbed?
Yeah.
Well, give me a description of the fellow.
Well, I didn't see a lot of him. He's about, yay high, maybe light complexion. But mostly what I saw was his gun barrel right in my face. Sheriff, he wanted to shoot me.
Okay, how long ago did this happen?
Well, just long enough ago that I had to go buy my new vest.
Oh, Mr. Tidewater, you let the trail get cold. I mean, you should have run over here just right away to let me know.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sheriff. Now, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to try to pick up the trail. Yeah, meanwhile, I suggest you try to get your money back.
Oh, Sheriff, wait a second. Could you hold the door for me?
Mr. McLean, once again, I must compliment you on the fine job you've done of scaring the people of this little town. I think you've made my job of selling our protection vests a whole lot easier. But I think at this time, it might be a good idea for you to lay low for a little while.
Well, Mr. Williams, I believe I'll go down to the hotel and get some beauty rest.
A fine idea, Mr. McLean.
But don't hesitate to come and get me if you need me.
Oh, I won't, Mr. McLean.
Hey, mister. I don't think I've seen you before. I'm Gospel Bill. I'm the sheriff of Dry Gulch. There was a bank robbery here just a few minutes ago, and I'm just kind of checking up on people. You are,
R.J. Williams with the Peabody Protection and Garment Company out of St. Louis. I'm sure you've heard of us, sir.
Oh, you must be the fella who sold that bulletproof vest to Mr. Tidewater.
Why, yes, sir. As a matter of fact, I am. And, sir, I'm so glad we had the opportunity to run into each other like this because the Peabody Protection and Garment Company has a vest designed with the sheriff in mind. And, sir, I must say that you would look absolutely marvelous in it. And because you're a law enforcement official, we will sell it to you not at our public sale price of $39.95. We will sell it to you, sir, for only $29.95. What do you say?
I'm not interested. Now, I want to know if you got a permit to sell those things here in town.
Why, yes, sir. As a matter of fact, I do. It's right here.
Well, that's an order, but I'm still not interested.
Fine, Sheriff. Just fine.
Lana, what are you doing with that thing?
Well, right now I'm trying to get in it.
Don't tell me you bought one of these vests.
Well, I'm not trying to make you feel bad or anything, but you can't be with me 24 hours a day.
But, Lana, you can't wear this vest 24 hours a day. I mean, that's not your protection. Well, look at that thing. It's big and it's heavy, and besides all that, it's just plain ugly.
Well, they didn't have a purple. He didn't have one with him.
That's beside the point. Even if it was purple, that wouldn't make any difference. I mean, this is just impractical. I know everybody in Dry Gulch is shaken up, and they believe they ought to have a vest or some kind of protection, but God is our protection, Lana. He's going to keep us safe. I mean, Psalm 91 says that if we abide under God's shadow, that we'll have safety. It says that there shall no evil befall us, and I'm going to get to the bottom of this thing with God's help, and He's going to protect this city.
You're right, Gospel Bill. It is ugly. But you think I can get my money back?
Well, I don't know. You know what? If you can't, I'd make a really good stove.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Hey, Elmer, don't tell me you bought one of those vests.
Well, I had to.
Somebody's been shooting at you?
No, I needed to make a fashion statement.
You wanted to make a fashion statement with that vest?
Uh-huh. Everybody's wearing them.
Oh, listen, Elmer, that's not why you bought that vest. You bought that because you're afraid.
Well, maybe just a little bit.
Elmer, there's nothing to be afraid of. Now, listen. God is going to protect you. You love him with all your heart, right?
Yeah.
And you believe his word?
Yeah.
Every one of his promises?
Yeah.
He said that if we abide in him, there shall no evil befall us. Elmer, that's Psalm 91:10. God said he's going to protect you.
Well, that's right.
Well, it is right. Now, you stop and think about this. This contraption is going to cause you more trouble than what it's worth. Now, picture yourself fishing. You're trying to throw your rod out there. You're going to be able to do it with that vest on?
No.
All right, you get into your boat and you're out in the middle of the pond, and for some reason or another, the boat tips over and you fall in the water. Can you swim with that vest on?
No, I'd sink like a rock.
Do you see what I mean? That vest is more trouble than it's worth, Elmer. Now, listen, you need to do something with that.
What am I going to do with it?
Well, why don't you do this? Take a hammer to it and just beat it into a bait box.
A bait box?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good idea. And for only $39.95, what a deal.
Why would folks want to buy a vest like that? I guess maybe it's because they're just too scared. Or maybe it's because they're just too foolish to know any better.
Hey, GB, it sure is hot out here today. Good thing you got your window open.
Nicodemus, get in here.
That's what I was planning on doing. Hey, how much longer we got to wear these things anyway?
Well, what do you mean? I never said anybody did have to wear those things.
Well, the salesman said that all the sheriffs in the whole area had recommended that folks buy these things.
I never said a word about that, Nicodemus. I haven't recommended those vests to anybody.
Well, you better get the word out then. I mean, everybody out at the ranch is wearing one. Even Mr. Farnsworth bought one.
Wait a minute. Mr. Farnsworth is wearing a bulletproof vest like that?
Well, no, his is a little bit different. He got the new pinstripe model.
Pinstripe model? Nicodemus, sit down there. I want to talk with you.
Okay. It'll take me a minute, though. Okay. It's all in the balance.
How do you do any roping with that vest on?
Well, it's pretty hard, but I seem to manage to get the job done.
Now, listen, that vest can't totally protect you. Look at the gap it leaves in the front there. If someone wanted to shoot you, they could put a bullet right in there.
Well, I hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah, and if you want total protection, you better get a bulletproof helmet and a bulletproof pair of pants and a bulletproof pair of boots.
But if I do that, I won't be able to get any work done.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say, Nicodemus. This bulletproof vest and other things are not going to protect you. God is. You know, I think this whole thing is nothing more than a cooked-up scheme to get people afraid, so they'll buy those vests.
Well, what am I going to do with this thing? I mean, I paid $39.95, and I don't think the salesman will give me a refund.
Well, you ought to take it down to the blacksmith shop. Maybe he can cut it up and make something out of it.
Yeah. Could you give me a hand getting up?
All right, here we go. All right, now listen, I got some things to check into. I'll see you later.
Okay, thank you. It's all in a balance.
Lana, I think I'm just about ready to solve the mystery of the bank robbery.
Oh, well, what have you found?
I believe the bulletproof vest salesman and the bank robber are partners.
Well, now, what makes you say that?
Well, if you can send a wire off for me, I think I can prove my point.
Well, but I just don't get the connection between the two.
All right, stop and think about this. The bulletproof vest salesman comes to town, but folks don't seem too interested in buying his vest. Well, all of a sudden, there's a holdup. Everybody gets scared. They start buying vests like crazy. Everybody's got one. He makes a lot of money. I think these two guys are connected. That's why I want to send a wire off to every sheriff within 150 miles. I want to know if that man was selling vests in their town and if there was a holdup while he was there.
You got it.
All right? Listen, I'm going over to the jail, and as soon as you find something out, you let me know.
Mr. McLean, that sheriff is catching on just a little too quickly to our little scheme. The only way we're going to keep our vest sales up is to take that sheriff down.
What do you want to do?
Well, I think we need to see you use one of your other talents, Mr. McLean.
Mr. Williams, you're not talking about an ambush, are you?
Mr. McLean, you read my mind.
This whole thing has just got to be a racket. That salesman has to be in cahoots with the outlaw. It makes all the sense in the world to me.
Sure is good to have that thing off.
See me behind you. Hold it right there, mister. Hold it right there. Nicodemus, get his gun.
Okay.
Mister, you are under arrest.
Resist you, spirit of fear. In the name of Jesus, you get out of here. God hasn't given me the spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. Yes. You don't know it can't flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. So listen, devil, I boldly say, in the name of Jesus, get out of my way. The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. The devil's trying to push you around. He's after your soul. You're gonna have to stand up to him. You got to be bold. The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. So, listen, devil, I boldly say, in the name of Jesus, get out of my way. The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion, 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 lion. All right. God hasn't given me the spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. No, God hasn't given me the spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. So I resist you, spirit of fear. In the name of Jesus, you get out of here. God hasn't given me the spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound, power, love, and a sound, power, love, and a sound mind.
Howdy, I'm Gospel Bill, and this is Dry Gulch, USA. And I want to invite you to a week of camp this summer that you'll never forget. When you come to Dry Gulch, USA, you can stay in a log cabin that looks just like an Old West storefront. But there's a lot more to Dry Gulch, USA than just eating and sleeping. Our camp has more than 1.25 miles shoreline on beautiful Lake Hudson. And it's just a perfect place for a canoe ride. You can go fishing and swimming. But maybe you're the kind who would prefer to ride horses or ride in the county jail wagon. You might enjoy visiting Chief Nuwanison for an exciting campfire story or hunt animal targets on the Chief's trail. Then there's time for a shooting contest and hiking trails. Hey, there's plenty to do at Dry Gulch, USA, but the most important reason for coming is so you can grow strong in the Lord.
For more information on Camp Dry Gulch, USA, call 918-234-5656.
Coming up next, when Betty's date gets out of hand, Bud rushes to the rescue. But does she really want his help? Watch Father Knows Best. Then at 8:30 Eastern, a peaceful dinner turns into pandemonium when the restaurant has to double as a delivery room on Hazel, here on the Family Channel.
Besides all that, it's just plain ugly.
Next on the Gospel Bill Show.
Hey, Charlie, there's your brother now. You tell him what happened to you. Hey, Luke, your brother Charlie here's got something he wants to tell you.
What, did you let him out on good behavior?
Tell him, Charlie, go ahead.
Luke, my drinking days are over.
What?
That's right. I'm a Christian now.
You a Christian? Well, you're just as ornery man as I am. There's no way you're a Christian. Well, how are you gonna give up women and tobacco? And most of all, how are you gonna say no to liquor?
It's Adventures in Dry Gulch, featuring the Sheriff Gospel Bill, his sidekick, Nicodemus, the general store owner, Miss Lana, good old Elmer Barnes, banker and mayor, T.U. Tidewater, and the entire Dry Gulch gang.
Well, here I am. Farnsworth said you could have me as long as you needed me.
Oh, good, Nicodemus. I don't think it'll take more than a couple of days. Listen, I got to go down to Different Springs and testify in a trial.
Oh, okay.
I'll be back as quick as I can.
All right.
Here's your badge, and I think you know how to run everything.
Oh, yeah. You can count on me.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Hey, don't be concerned about a thing.
You know, Luke, what sounds real good to me right now?
What's that?
Some corn liquor.
In Dry Gulch? That'll be the day with these religious fanatics.
Hey, listen, I figure if they've got a right to be sober, we've got a right to be drunk. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go over here into Miss Lana's store and see if she's got anything in. Some whiskey, know what I mean?
In her store? You gotta be crazy.
Howdy.
Well, hello, Charlie. Can I help you?
No, thanks. Just looking.
Well, what are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for where you got all that whiskey of yours hidden, Miss Lana.
Whiskey? I don't have any whiskey.
That's not what I've heard.
Well, you've heard wrong.
And I suppose you don't have any tobacco yet either.
No, I don't.
You know, they shouldn't call this a general store. They should call this a goody-goody store. And they should only let little kids in.
Now, listen, Charlie, I've never sold liquor or tobacco, and I'm not going to. That's why you're here. You've come to the wrong place.
Miss Lana, fine. When I decide I need some licorice or some diapers, I'll be back. Hey, Nicodemus.
Oh, howdy, Charlie.
I'm, trying to find me some moonshine.
Well, it's a little early in the day for moonshine, don't you think?
It's never too early for moonshine.
Well, now, if you really want some moonshine, you're going to have to wait till the sun goes down and this thing called night happens, when everything gets real dark. And then this other big round ball comes up in the sky. It's called the moon. See, and that's where you're going to get your moonshine. But if it's not a full moon, though, you might have this little fingernail little moon.
I'm not talking about moonbeams, Nicodemus. I'm talking about liquor, you thimblehead.
You shouldn't ought to be a drinking liquor anyway. If that feller just knew what an awful road that liquor was leading him down, then he'd quit that awful drinking.
You must have seen Charlie.
Has he been in here?
No. In here wanting to buy liquor and tobacco.
Tell you what that feller needs.
What's that?
He needs to get saved.
Yeah. But he needs like another feller to talk to him.
Yeah, somebody like a man.
Yeah, and someone he can relate to.
Yeah, somebody who's been through some of the things he's been through. You know, like a cowboy.
And someone that knows the dangers of alcohol.
Yeah, somebody who's maybe had a problem with alcohol and they've overcome it.
But it needs to be someone that's led by the Spirit of God.
Yeah. Somebody that's sensitive to the Holy Ghost.
And somebody that really knows the Word.
Yeah, somebody that could tell him about Romans chapter 10 and verse 9 and 10. It says, if you believe in your heart that Jesus was raised from the dead and say it with your mouth, then you can be saved. I wonder who that fella might be, though. I'll have to give that some thought.
Nicodemus.
Yeah.
I know who can do it.
Who?
You.
Me? No, Miss Lana. I mean, no, I don't think so.
Nicodemus, you have all the qualifications.
Well, yeah, but it's been a while since I've led somebody to the Lord, and I don't know if I could... Well, sure I do. I can do that. I accept the challenge. I'm going to go talk to him right now.
And I'll pray for you.
So then, he's telling me about the moon. He tells me about the big round one, and then he tells me about one that's shaped like a fingernail. I couldn't believe it.
Hey, Charlie, wonder if you could come with me. I need to kind of talk to you for just a minute.
What do you want to do, Nicodemus? Talk to me some more about moonbeams?
No, I just want to talk to you about something for just a minute.
Well, it just so happens that I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, can't you hear him? He doesn't want to talk to you, redneck.
Well, it just so happens I am the duly authorized sheriff of this town, and I want to talk to you at the jail right now. Come on.
But I haven't done anything.
Come on.
He's probably going to arrest you for just thinking about drinking booze.
Come on in here. I want to talk to you.
I told you I didn't do nothing.
I know you didn't do nothing. Charlie, I just want to talk to you for a minute. You know, you remind me a whole lot of me.
I do?
Yeah, I used to be a whole lot like you. Why, I used to carouse around, drink a lot like you do.
Well, I never figured you'd ever mess with whiskey, Nicodemus.
Oh, yeah. Well, I drank for years. Used to do it every day. Thought I was having a real good time. Till one day I decided I wanted to quit.
So you quit?
No, I didn't quit either. Couldn't quit. Didn't have the power.
You still drinking?
Oh, no, I don't drink anymore. Well, I hadn't taken anything to drink in, years now.
How'd you quit?
Oh, I had to have a friend help me.
Does he live around here?
Oh, yeah, he's real close. Charlie, you ever thought about stopping drinking?
Nah. Yeah. Yeah, I have.
You know, I think my friend could help you, too.
What's his name?
Well, his name's Jesus. Now, Jesus died on the cross, so when you die, you can go be in heaven with him. But he died for a whole lot more than that. He died so we could be free from all of our sins, and that includes drinking.
It's been a long time since I've been free.
Well, the Bible says it real simple, Charlie. It says if you'll believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, and then just say that with your mouth, it says that you can be saved and you can be set free. Would you like to pray with me?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to.
Hey, Charlie, there's your brother now. You can tell him what happened to you. Hey, Luke, your brother Charlie here's got something he wants to tell you.
What, did you let him out on good behavior?
Tell him, Charlie, go ahead.
Luke, my drinking days are over.
What?
That's right. I'm a Christian now.
You a Christian? Well, you're just as ornery man as I am. There's no way you're a Christian. Well, how are you gonna give up women and tobacco? And most of all, how are you gonna say no to liquor?
Come on, Charlie, you don't have to listen to this. Come on.
Ah, Charlie, you won't stay a Christian long.
Now, come on, Charlie. Don't you pay your brother no, never mind. Miss Lana, I'd like to introduce you to a brand new brother in the Lord, Charlie Reynolds. He just got saved.
He did?
He did. Go ahead, Charlie. Tell her all about it. Tell her.
That's right, Miss Lana. I just got saved.
Yeah. Now, Miss Lana, we come in here to do a little business for the brethren. Now, you still got some of those Bibles in stock, don't you?
Well, I sure do.
Okay, get old Charlie one of them. And put that on my account. Here you go, Charlie. Brand new Bible. You need to be reading that.
Well, thank you, Nicodemus. I really appreciate this.
Oh, you're sure welcome. Now, listen, we have church service begins in the morning at 9 a.m. sharp. And I know you know where the church is, but I know you never have walked that path before. So tell you what, let's do. I'll come by your place, say around 15 or 9, and me and you will go to church together. What do you say?
Well, sounds good to me. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, see you in the morning.
Bye.
I tell you what, it sure makes a feller's spirit feel good when he rises up and meets the challenge.
I'm proud of you, Nicodemus.
Well, hello, Charlie. So you're a Christian now, are you? Well, what do I call you? Brother Charlie, or Reverend Charlie, or maybe the most holy Charlie, huh? Which is it?
I'm still your brother, Luke. I've just got Jesus living in my heart, that's all.
Now, this religion stuff isn't for you.
Well, I've got to go now, Luke. I'm going to do some reading in the Bible.
This religion stuff isn't for Charlie? I guess I'll just have to be the one to make sure he finds that out. Woo-wee! Sure is a hot day out there today. Boy, nothing like a little moonshine to quench a guy's thirst on a day like this. Get me a couple cups here. Boy, what a day. Boy, that's good stuff. Hey, you are thirsty, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, you don't suppose that God would want a man hot and thirsty on a day like this, would he, Charlie?
Suppose not.
Well, how about I just pour you a little bit? I mean, nothing to get in trouble with God or anything. I mean, a little bit of whiskey never hurt a man, would it?
Yeah, I suppose it'd be okay.
Well, look at you. You're drinking more than you ever have. Well, I told you that religion stuff wasn't for you. Why, a man's been drinking as long as you have has no business hanging around all them church people. Well, I'll see you later, Charlie. Have a good night.
I suppose you're right, Luke. I can't be a Christian.
Charlie, Nicodemus.
No. Go away, Nick. I don't feel good.
Well, if you don't feel good, I'll come in here and pray for you.
No.
Charlie, you ain't been drinking liquor again, have you?
Yeah, I have. I messed up.
Well, Charlie, that's okay. God will forgive you of it.
No, I can't live the Christian life, Nicodemus. God doesn't want me anymore.
Now, Charlie, that is not true. Why, when Jesus put you in the family of God, he's not going to kick you out just because you messed up one time. Listen, he forgave you once, he'll forgive you again. Well, what you need to do is get some of that coffee over there and get all sobered up. And tell you what, I'll come back tomorrow and pick you up, and we're going to go to church, okay? I'll see you tomorrow, Charlie. Hey, I'm going to take care of you. You're going to make it.
All right, Nick. Whatever you say.
Hey, GB, sure is good to have you back home.
Hey, I sure appreciate you watching things for me while I was gone, Nicodemus. Hey, by the way, how did everything go?
Oh, it went pretty good. Well, some things went pretty rotten.
Well, now, what kind of problems did you have?
Well, you know old Charlie Reynolds? Well, I told him about Jesus last week and got him saved.
Well, now, what's so bad about that? I mean, that sounds just pretty good to me.
Oh, there ain't nothing bad about that, but his brother, why, ever since Charlie got saved, his brother's been trying to discourage him. Even got him to drinking again. He's got Charlie all convinced that there ain't no way he can live this Christian life.
The old Charlie's got to realize something, Nicodemus, and that is that when you are born again as a Christian, your spirit is just a baby. And if we know anything about babies, we know that they stumble, they fall. I mean, they can't walk just right away. It takes them a while to learn how to do these things. And it's the same thing that happens with a baby Christian. It takes a Christian a while to get a handle on this Christian life, and you're just going to have to make old Charlie understand that.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else I can do for him?
Well, I think you ought to pray for him. That's real important. And another thing you need to do is to keep him hearing the Word of God.
Yeah, that's real good, Gospel Bill. You know what? I'm going to take him to church with me in the morning. I ain't going to let no brother, I ain't going to let no devil, ain't nobody going to discourage that Charlie from living for Jesus.
Well, how do I look, Luke?
Oh, you got yourself all prettied up for church, don't you, Charlie?
Hey, Charlie, it's Nicodemus.
Well, come on in, Nick.
Hey, Charlie, you looking good. Hey, y'all ready to go to church?
Yes, sir, ready to go.
Well, how about your brother Luke? Is he going to be joining us this morning?
I don't know. You want to come along, Luke?
I'd never set foot in a church. And look at you, you hypocrite. Last night you're running around here like a drunk skunk. This morning you're thinking you're going to go to church.
Luke, I was reading in this here Bible this morning, and it said that if I confess my sins, Jesus will forgive me of my sins. And I know I might miss it once in a while. But whenever I need him, Jesus is going to be there for me. Ready to go, Nick?
Yeah, Charlie, let's go.
I've never seen Charlie act like that. There must be something to this Jesus.
Don't let the devil steal your joy from you, 'cause that's what he comes round to do, to steal, kill, and destroy you, and to take your joy away. But Jesus gave his life for you, guarantee of God's whole truth. If the devil cannot steal your joy, he can't take your goods away. what he comes round to do. To steal, kill, and destroy you. And to take your joy away. Jesus gave his life for you. Guarantee of God's whole truth. If the devil cannot steal your joy, he can't take your goods away.
Howdy, I'm Gospel Bill, and this is Dry Gulch, USA. And I want to invite you to a week of camp this summer that you'll never forget. When you come to Dry Gulch, USA, you can stay in a log cabin that looks just like an Old West storefront. But there's a lot more to Dry Gulch, USA than just eating and sleeping. Our camp has more than 1.25 miles shoreline on beautiful Lake Hudson. And it's just a perfect place for a canoe ride. You can go fishing and swimming. But maybe you're the kind who would prefer to ride horses or ride in the county jail wagon. You might enjoy visiting Chief Nuwaunasin for an exciting campfire story or hunt animal targets on the Chief's trail. Then there's time for a shooting contest and hiking trails. Hey, there's plenty to do at Dry Gulch, USA, but the most important reason for coming is so you can grow strong in the Lord.
For more information on Camp Dry Gulch, USA, call 918-234-5656.
You know, when you're a little baby, it takes you a while to learn how to walk. First, you take little tiny steps, and you have to have a little help from Mom and Dad or the coffee table or maybe the couch, because you just can't walk without a little bit of help. That's the way it is when you're a little baby. You know what? The same thing's true when you're a baby Christian. You're gonna make some mistakes, and you're gonna do some things that just aren't right. But just because you fall down doesn't mean you're not a Christian. When a baby falls down, that doesn't mean that it's never going to learn to walk. It gets back up again, and it keeps on trying. Isn't that right, Jennifer? And that's what you have to do if you're a baby Christian. If you make some mistakes, don't give up. Don't quit being a Christian. Keep trusting in Jesus. He wants to help you keep taking steps so that you can learn how to walk. And one day you'll be able to run with your spirit, and then you'll be strong. So you keep in there. Don't give up. Don't be discouraged just because you've made a mistake.
That's right, Miss Lana.
Cartoon adventures through the pages of the Superbook, coming up next. And at 9:30 Eastern, news by, for, and about kids on Kids World, here on the Family Channel.
Next on the Gospel Bill Show.
And Mr. Tidewater just came by to put your mind at rest.
Oh, really? And just how are you going to do that?
Well, I figured you'd heard Gospel Bill's left town for a few days, and I just wanted you to know he put the best looking, the toughest, and I might add, smartest deputy in charge he's ever had, namely me. And if there's anything I can do for you in the next couple of days, don't you hesitate to call on me.
Yeah, you really are something. Put your hands up.
Armed and ready.
Well, Nicodemus, what are you doing with all those guns?
Well, your message said you needed me at the jail real quick, so I figured you wanted me to help you round up some desperate outlaws.
Listen, I didn't have in mind that you'd bring down the whole Union arsenal. I mean, I only wanted you to watch the jail for a couple of days.
Well, you know what they say. You can never have too many.
Well, I hadn't seen that many guns on one fella since the Civil War.
It's better to be safe than sorry. Who you picking up, anyway?
Well, I got to go down to Alkali Flats and bring a fella back to Dry Gulch to stand trial. His name is Harry Blanton.
Harry Blanton of the Blanton Brothers gang? Ooh, they're really desperate. Oh, they got Harry, Larry, and Gary, and don't they have a sister named Mary?
Well, I wouldn't know that.
That's a mean bunch of outlaws.
Yeah, well, listen. This guy's not going to be any trouble because he's already locked up. So you take the badge and put it on, and you be real careful about how you treat the folks at Dry Gulch, and whatever you do, don't let those guns get away from you.
You can count on me, GB. Don't give it a second thought.
Listen, I'll be back as soon as I can.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I reckon I better be making my rounds.
Thank you, Miss Lana. I'll be seeing you later. Nicodemus, did Gospel Bill make you deputy?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, you look so handsome in that badge.
Yeah, Gospel Bill put the welfare of all the citizens of this here town in these two very capable hands.
Oh.
Well, I'd love to stand here and chat with you all day. Nothing would please me more, but duty calls. I got rounds I got to make. Good day, little lady.
Oh, what a brave man.
Yeah, I am. You know, it just feels good.
Psst, Larry, come on. You know, I think that sheriff's doing us quite a favor by bringing our brother Harry out of prison for us.
Yeah, but how are we going to get our brother away from that sheriff?
Well, you know, I figure that sheriff wouldn't mind trading our brother Harry for one of the citizens of this town.
You mean hold somebody for a ransom?
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Lana, I reckon I'm the toughest, the smartest, the best-looking deputy sheriff this town's ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's all going to waste.
What?
Well, here I am, Miss Lana, with all this talent just oozing out of me, and it's going to waste. I mean, when was the last time you seen a group of, say, 50 hombres come a-riding in and just shoot the whole town up?
Never.
See what I mean? And when was the last time you seen a couple of fellers get drunk over at the saloon and just shoot the whole place up?
We don't have a saloon.
It's exactly what I'm a-talking about. And when was the last time a couple of fellers get this notion to just go over and blow up Tidewater's bank safe with dynamite?
That's never happened.
You see what I mean? Here I am with all this talent just oozing out of me, and I don't have a place to use it because nothing ever happens around this town.
Nicodemus, we don't want those kind of things to happen here. That's why folks come to live in Dry Gulch, because it's a nice, quiet, peaceful community.
Well, that might be all right for the common man, but I was born for adventure. You got any mail for the new deputy sheriff, Miss Lana?
Well, let's just look and see.
Oh, good.
But I didn't see anything this morning.
Well, check under H for handsome. Go on, it's got to be up there somewhere.
Well, since we're gonna kidnap somebody, and we gotta kidnap somebody important, why don't we kidnap the storekeeper in there?
Well, it's all right with you. It's all right with me.
Well, it's all right with me. I just wanted to know what you thought about it.
Well, I just told you what I think about it.
Well, she is only the storekeeper. She's not that important. Maybe there's somebody else we could pick.
Well, is that a yes or no?
Well, I don't know. What do you think?
I just told you what I think.
Well, I'll leave her. Here comes a deputy.
Worms! I got worms for sale! Well, howdy, ma'am. You want to buy some worms? Should I take that as a no?
Howdy, Elmer. Tell me, how's it going?
Well, business could be better.
That ain't what I'm talking about. Listen, Gospel Bill's out of town, and I'm the law enforcement here now, and I just wanted to know, you witnessed any serious crimes?
Here in Dry Gulch?
You do know a crime takes place every 3 minutes and 28 seconds, don't you?
Are you pulling my leg?
Elmer, crime is no laughing matter. Has anybody been eyeing them worms?
You mean like this? Kind of makes me dizzy.
That ain't what I'm talking about. I want to know if anybody maybe's been looking to steal your worms.
Steal them? Shucks, no, I can't even give them away.
Well, just remember, you see anybody look suspicious, don't hesitate to call, 'cause Nick is on the job.
Boy, I feel safer already. Worms! I got worms for sale!
Can't someone get that buffoon off of my porch?
Howdy, Mr. Tidewater. Just came by to put your mind at rest.
Oh, really? And just how are you going to do that?
Well, I figured you'd heard Gospel Bill's left town for a few days, and I just wanted you to know he put the best-looking, the toughest, and I might add, smartest deputy in charge he's ever had, namely me. And if there's anything I can do for you in the next couple of days, don't you hesitate to call on me.
Well, now, Nicodemus, I don't suppose in your vast intelligence you happened to notice on your way in that buffoon selling worms on my porch, did you?
Mean Elmer?
I mean Elmer Barnes.
Well, sure, I seen him, but I figure me running off a worm peddler's a little below my lawman skills, you know?
Well, let me tell you something about lawman skills, Buster. Well, how about you taking a seat, Nicodemus?
Sure, thank you. Yeah.
Now, Nicodemus, have you ever heard the story of the pearl?
Huh?
Yeah, you take just a very small grain of sand, and when that sand is introduced into a very innocent oyster, through a series of constant agitation, what develops is the beautiful pearl. Now, Nicodemus, wouldn't you love to be a pearl of a lawman?
Well, yeah.
Well, then get that lumbering fish head off of my porch.
Well, sure, Tidewater. Why didn't you just say so?
Well, what do you think of this guy? Well, he seems to be pretty bright. I don't even know why I'd bother asking. Come on, let's go.
Hey, Elmer, I want you to move this here worm business down the street a little bit.
No, I ain't gonna do it. This is the best place in town.
Come on, Elmer, just down the street a little bit.
No, I don't have to. This is a free country.
Say, Elmer, you ever heard of the ozone layer?
You mean Charlie, the old player's back in town?
Bone player? No, I mean the ozone layer. See, up in the sky, way up there, there's this thing called the ozone layer, and the sun's rays shine down through it like this, see? And, well, if them rays coming through the ozone layer, I've heard if they hit worms, just ruins them for fishing. Fish won't bite them no more.
Is that for true?
Well, it seemed like I heard that somewhere.
You know, maybe I ought to move down under that shade tree to protect my worms.
You mean that shade tree right down the street there?
Yep.
Pretty good idea, Elmer. I'm glad you thought of that.
Well, thanks, Nick.
Smartest. Yeah. Stopping Elmer Barnes from selling worms. The people of this town don't realize what kind of prize they got in me. Why, when you look up the word quick draw in the dictionary, you find my picture. I'm wonderful. I am marvelous. I am Nicodemus.
Sheriff! Sheriff! You're not the sheriff. Where's the sheriff?
Well, he had to leave town for a few days, little man. Left me in charge. What can I do for you?
My dog's ripped off another dog. You gotta break him up.
A dog fight? Well, don't you know who I am? Why? Oh, hot doggy, whoopity-doody-doody-doo. Let me tell you about the exciting day I've had, Miss Lana. Why, just a few minutes ago, right out in front of the bank, I stood face to face, eye to eye with a fierce worm peddler, and I evicted him right out of the streets of Dry Gulch. Yeah, and then a little bit later, me single-handedly, with the help of this here boot, why, I broke up the fiercest dog fight I guess I've ever seen. Even included a French poodle. Yeah, oh, the people of Dry Gulch really got their tax dollars worth out of me today. Why, if something don't happen pretty soon, I'm gonna dry up and blow away from sheer boredom.
Oh, Nicodemus, you ought to be happy. Well, these are the kind of days that Gospel Bill likes. I mean, he gets all his paperwork done.
Well, that might be fine for GB. But me and paperwork never did get along. I was put on this earth for an entirely different purpose. Have I ever shown you my quick draw?
Oh, no.
Yeah. You want to see it again?
Get out of here.
I'm telling you, if something don't happen soon, me and all this talent's just gonna shrivel up and die.
Well, we better find somebody fast. We're running out of choices. Well, if you weren't so picky.
It's pity what it is. Pity, pity, pity. Yeah. Oh, hi, fellas. You know, it's a crying shame, ain't it? Just a crying shame. All this potential to fight outlaws in one feller and can't use it here in Dry Gulch. Why, it'd be one thing if we had herds of outlaws running through this town, but nah, never does happen here. You know, I can spot an outlaw from 3 miles away. That's how I got the nickname Eagle Eye. That's what they call me. Well, just a shame. Somebody as big and important as me just wasting away in Dry Gulch. I guess I'm known all through the county, even far beyond, but, well, it's just a shame. It's what it is. You fellas know what I mean? Yeah, I knew you did. Have a good day.
Well, he's big, and he's important, and I'm tired of arguing with you. What's it gonna be? Yes or no?
Well, I want to be agreeable with you. So if it's all right with you, well, it's all right with me.
Yeah. Well, no sense even practicing my quick draw. No chance to use it around here. But on the other hand, who knows when some mean, nasty, low-life desperado might come slinking into town, and I'll get to put all my talents to use. All right, dirtbag, draw. Yeah, I am really something.
Yeah, you really are something. Now put your hands up.
The Bland brothers. Hey, Larry, Gary, how's the sister Mary?
Well, she's all right. You know, putting on a little weight lately. Well, I'm in a real hard place here. I don't know whether to just tie you up or knock you out. What do you think?
Well, it's all right with me if it's all right with you.
Yeah, I knew it. Ooh-wee. Quite a little feisty fella, ain't he?
Well, I think so. If it's all right with you.
Never mind. Well, you're quite a little prize, ain't you? I figure the sheriff will trade you for our brother Harry. What do you think? Well, I guess we can take that as a yes.
Come on. Hold it. Something's not right there. Come on back here.
Hey, you ain't doing so good. What's the matter? Haven't you read the rule book on being a good hostage? Well, rule number 1 says you gotta cooperate. I said cooperate. Hey, the tail's on fire! Fire!
Hold it right there, boys. Hands up. The only place you guys are going is right back in that jail. Come on.
Hey, Miss Lana.
Nicodemus, I heard what happened. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Well, are you sure those men didn't hurt you?
Nah, they didn't hurt me. But if they would have, it would have been my own stupid fault the way I was acting. I mean, running around town, my head swelled out to here, telling everybody what a big deal I was. You know, it's just like the Bible says, you shouldn't ought to think of yourself more high than you are. Well, I got my own self in trouble. It also says pride comes before a fall, and that's exactly what happened to me. I ain't no big deal at all. I'm just a little deal.
Well, Nicodemus, you'll always be a big deal to me.
You really mean it?
Yeah, because I like you just the way you are.
Well, thank you, Miss Lynn. That means a whole lot coming from you. Along that same line, do you think I'm handsome?
Well, you're good looking.
Yeah, but do you think I'm real good looking?
Nicodemus.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Thanks. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. You know, when you think about it that way, it's like we're in a real battle. What would it be like to be in a real battle?
I may never march with the infantry, ride with the cavalry, or shoot the artillery. I may never fly over the enemy, but I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I may never ride with the cavalry, but I'm in the Lord's army. I may never march with the infantry, ride with the cavalry, or shoot the artillery. I may never fly over the enemy, but I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I may never shoot the artillery, but I'm in the Lord's army. I may never march with the infantry, or ride in the cavalry, or shoot the artillery. I may never fly over the enemy, but I'm in the Lord's army. I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I may never fly over the enemy, but I'm in the Lord's army.
Oh, what a dream. It's so real. Whoa.
Howdy, I'm Gospel Bill, and this is Dry Gulch, USA. And I want to invite you to a week of camp this summer that you'll never forget. When you come to Dry Gulch, USA, you can stay in a log cabin that looks just like an Old West storefront. But there's a lot more to Dry Gulch, USA than just eating and sleeping. Our camp has more than 1.25 miles shoreline on beautiful Lake Hudson. And it's just a perfect place for a canoe ride. You can go fishing and swimming. But maybe you're the kind who would prefer to ride horses or ride in the county jail wagon. You might enjoy visiting Chief Nuwanasin for an exciting campfire story or hunt animal targets on the Chief's trail. Then there's time for a shooting contest and hiking trails. Hey, there's plenty to do at Dry Gulch, USA, but the most important reason for coming is so you can grow strong in the Lord.
For more information on Camp Dry Gulch, USA, call 918-234-5656.
Oh, Nicodemus learned it the hard way. When you become proud and boastful, you head right into trouble. Well, those outlaws wouldn't have dared picked on him to kidnap had they not heard him brag. But because he bragged, they thought he was really important, a real somebody. And so that's why they decided to kidnap him. You know, when you become boastful and proud, you always set yourself up for a fall, because pride goes against God. You see, you can't have God's blessings and be proud at the same time. If somebody's going to brag on you, let it be other people. But don't brag on yourself, because you always get yourself into trouble when you become full of pride.
Coming up next, while the cat's away, the mice will play. But when Margaret's the cat, what will Jim do? Watch Father Knows Best. Then at 8:30 Eastern, Hazel plays peacemaker and gets George out of a jam on Hazel, here on the Family Channel.
Next on the Gospel Bill Show.
Well, Mr. Tidewater, I'd say if things continue as they are and you keep your weight off of it, you'll be up and around in, 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks? In this bed?
If you want the bones to mend properly, that's correct. 6 to 8 weeks.
Listen, what kind of a quack doctor are you anyway?
It's Adventures in Dry Gulch, featuring the Sheriff Gospel Bill, his sidekick, Nicodemus, the general store owner, Miss Lana, good old Elmer Barnes, banker and mayor, T.U. Tidewater, and the entire Dry Gulch gang.
Oh, are you sure, Miss Lana?
I'm sure.
Did you double check?
I double-checked and it wasn't there.
Are you absolutely sure?
Elmer, the stage came and the stage went and it wasn't on there.
My life is ruined.
Well, I'd hate to think my life was ruined over a bag of peat moss.
Inky and Dinky are going to be so disappointed in me.
Inky and Dinky?
Yeah, my worms.
Your worms.
Excuse me, Elmer. I have some real business to take care of with Miss Lana.
Well, good day, Mr. Tidewater.
Oh, good day, Mr. Tidewater. Where is that hat that I ordered 3 weeks ago? Do you realize a man cannot conduct business wearing a hat like this? Who would bank with a man wearing this hat? Now, I am not going to take any more of your stories. Do you realize that I could take you into court, sue you for lost revenue? Now, I have had it with your stories. I've had it with your stories. I've heard them year after year. Do you realize there are children in this town that could run this store better than you? Now, what I want to know is, where is that hat?
Your hat is right here.
Right here. Well.
It came on the 3 o'clock stage, which I paid the rush charge for.
Well, I think that that's just right.
Hey, this thing came in. Where's my peat moss?
Peat moss? Are you in touch with reality, Elmer? No. You are a total buffoon.
Well, I appreciate this. Well, thanks.
Oh, you would.
Well, I gotta go.
Now, I suppose after me waiting 3 weeks for this hat that you would like prompt and full payment?
Oh, that would be nice.
Well, I'm sorry. You're just going to have to wait.
Hey, GB, guess what I'm going to buy?
Well, I got no ideas. Give me some kind of a clue.
Okay, it's something that'll help a feller with his courting.
You're going to buy some cologne?
No, I already got 3 bottles of that. Something that you can sit down on.
You're going to buy a sofa?
No, not a sofa. It's got wheels on it, wheels.
Sit down on your court. A buggy. You're going to buy a buggy.
You got it, Gospel Bill. see, last night I took Miss Trudy Lou out on the back of my horse, and she bounced up and down and all around, and finally she got sick to her stomach, and she laid down the law to me. She said, Nicodemus, I ain't going to go out with you no more till you do me right and proper by getting a buggy for me to ride in.
Well, she does have a point there.
Yeah, I think she does, too. Well, now, see, I got $350, and I figure I can go to Mr. Tidewater at the bank. When he loaned me $150, the buggy cost $500.
Well, it sounds to me like you've got enough of your money tied up in it. I don't know why it wouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Well, excuse me, I got to go talk to him right now and get that money so I can get that buggy. Woo! Trudy Lou, gonna smooth out your ride for you. Hey, Mr. Tidewater, you're just the fella I was looking for.
Well, I wish I could say the feeling was mutual, but I'll make an exception in this case.
Huh?
What do you want, Nicodemus?
Well, I'll get right to the point. You see, I've been dating Miss Trudy Lou for a while now, and we're kind of past the stage where we're serious, you know, and, well, I'm just not comfortable with her sitting on the back of my horse kind of bouncing around and all, you know. So I figure I need a buggy to haul her around in. Well, I got this real nice one spotted. It's all black and got white sidewall tires, but it costs $500. Well, I only got $350, but I figure with my good credit rating, I'm coming down to the bank and borrow $150 from you. What do you say?
No.
No? Oh, come on, Mr. Tidewater. Now, what time I come down and sign the papers? Say about an hour or so?
No.
No? Why not?
Because I'm not in the buggy business. Never have been, never will be. Now, if you want money for oil, if you want money for cattle, you can come see me. But if you think you need a buggy so bad, go down to Merlin Ed's used buggy shop. See if they can do anything for you.
You old tight-wad skin flint. With my credit rating and the money I had on hand, Tidewater would loan me the money for the buggy, wouldn't you? But you know what he said? He said, no. A big, fat no.
Did Tidewater give you any kind of a reason?
Yeah. He said he wasn't in the buggy business. Can you believe that? Just messing up my romantic life. How can I be the Romeo of the range without that buggy? I ain't getting any younger, you know. And neither is Miss Trudy Lou. Tidewater is the stingiest man I ever seen in my whole entire life. Well, when he squeezes a nickel, he's so tight he makes an Indian ride to Buffalo.
Sheriff, wonder if I could have a word with you, please, in private?
Tidewater, I was here first. And if you think I'm leaving just because you brought your stingy little body in here, you got another thing coming.
You're just upset that I didn't loan you the money.
Hey, see? Squeezing the nickel. When I tell you, Indian on the Buffalo.
Nicodemus, I think this might be official business. Won't you excuse us for just a minute?
Oh, Tidewater, I'm going to get that buggy with your loan or without it.
Sheriff, as mayor of Dry Gulch, it's my duty to come and report to you the results of last night's town meeting. In regard to your annual salary review, instead of the raise that you were probably anticipating, we have, upon my recommendation, decided to cut your salary by 15%.
Are you telling me that the town council's not happy with the way I do my job?
Well, Sheriff, now you've got to admit, I mean, there's just not much for you to do anymore. The crime is down. There's just not a whole lot to do.
What you really mean is that a fella comes into town, cleans it up, gets the outlaws off the street, and you reward him by cutting his pay.
Sheriff, what I'm telling you, in Dry Gulch, we pay for services rendered, not services anticipated. Good day.
Oh, it's a bluebird kind of day.
Elmer, what are you doing?
I'm breathing in the clean country air.
You mean you're just standing here taking a break?
Yep.
Doing nothing?
Yep.
Now, does that mean that the buggy that I gave you to fix is finished?
No.
Do you mean that you've had a man of my stature walking around town instead of riding in his buggy and you don't care?
Well, I'm sorry.
Listen, I am so tired of buffoons like you messing up my business. I just gotta...
Hey, you're singing opera. free.
Help me.
Oh, can I do something?
Yeah, let me put my weight on you.
Oh, don't I got enough weight in my own?
No. Just pick me up, carry me to my place.
Okay.
Elmer, this is all your fault. It wouldn't happen if it wasn't for you. Set me down on the bed, would you?
Okay.
Not this way, you idiot. Turn me around. Watch that leg, watch that leg.
What's it gonna do?
It's gonna hurt if you touch it. Now be careful.
Well, are you guys okay?
What is that odor?
Where?
Elmer, that is you. You reek.
Eureka!
Oh, listen, you smell worse than the stockyards.
Really?
Listen, why don't you do something right? Now go get the doctor for me.
Okay.
Now, you idiot.
Okay.
My leg.
Well, Mr. Tidewater, I'd say if things continue as they are and you keep your weight off of it, you'll be up and around in, 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks? In this bed?
If you want the bones to mend properly, that's correct. 6 to 8 weeks.
Listen, what kind of a quack doctor are you anyway?
6 to 8 weeks, Mr. Tidewater. I'll send you my bill.
Oh, yeah. And I bet it'll be double for house calls. Oh, 6 to 8 weeks. Alone. Without me? What's going to happen to my bank? Oh. Now, weren't that the doc that just walked by here?
Yeah, it looks like he's in a hurry.
Well, they did it.
Did what?
They kicked it.
Kicked what?
The door.
What door?
Over there.
Elmer, why don't we just pretend like you hadn't come in here yet, and let's start this all over.
Well, okay.
Elmer, where you going?
Well, I thought you told me to leave.
Never mind. Get over here, Elmer. Now, I want you to tell me who did what to where, when, and why, and how.
Well, do I have to say it in that order?
Elmer, tell me what's going on.
Well, Mr. Tidewater came over to the livery stable to pick up his buggy.
And?
Well, I was working on it, but it wasn't done yet.
And?
Well, he got mad, started swinging his leg like this.
And?
And he kicked it.
Kicked it?
Well, he kind of crunched it.
He crunched it?
Well, he really broke it.
The door?
No, his leg.
Mr. Tidewater broke his leg? Well, that's a crying shame.
I know. He's going to be laid up for pretty near 2 months.
Laid up for 2 months. Oh, my heart is filled with sorrow for Mr. T. Tidewater's plight. But that just goes to show you. You sow and you reap. And you sow and you reap. Remember, you sow and you reap. And you sow and you reap.
Nicodemus always has been a different kind of feller, ain't he?
Oh, Gospel Bill, did you hear what happened to poor Mr. Tidewater?
I hadn't heard anything. What happened?
Well, it seems that Mr. Tidewater was down to the livery stable getting his buggy fixed, and they didn't have his buggy ready. Poor Mr. Tidewater got mad, and he kicked that livery stable. And when he did, that mean old livery stable broke his poor leg. I just felt terrible about it, so I wrote this poem here. See what you think about it. We heard the news, and it's a shame. You broke your leg, and now you're lame. God paid you back for all you've done. I hope you break the other one.
Now, Nicodemus, I'm agitated at Tidewater just like you are, but you can't have this kind of an attitude toward him.
But now, wait a minute. Don't you think it's just God paying him back for all the mean things he's been doing to not only me, but everybody in town?
God is not paying him back. God's gifts are good and perfect, and God didn't cause T.U. Tidewater to break his leg.
Oh, so what you're saying is he can just act any way he wants to anybody he wants to, and God will still bless him and everything?
I didn't say that. What I said was that God didn't do it. Now, Tidewater reaped what he sowed, and that's the law of God. But God didn't do that to him. He did it to himself. And when bad things happen to people, even when they've done us wrong, we can't rejoice about it.
Nurse! Nurse! Are you out there?
Boy, paid good money for this help, and what do you get?
Nothing!
Maybe if I had just some friends. Somebody to come by, maybe read me some stories. Help me pass some time. Friends. Nah.
Howdy, Lana. I guess you heard about T.U. Tidewater?
Yeah, but he should have known better than to kick a building. But the way he was acting in here earlier, it doesn't surprise me a bit.
You mean he gave you a hard time, too?
Rude as ever.
Well, he wouldn't loan me the money to buy a little old buggy.
Well, if anybody's got reason to be upset with Tidewater, it's me. He's the one who single-handedly convinced the town council to cut my salary by 15%.
You know, I guess we all got real good reason to be glad he's laid up in that bed for about 6 weeks.
Well, I know my feelings sure aren't right toward him, but we got to do what the Word of God says.
Yeah, and the Word says to love your enemies, right?
Well, it's going to take the love of God for me to show Tidewater any affection.
Well, but we're Christians. We don't have any choice. We've got to walk in the love of God. But the big question is, how do we show it to Tidewater?
Well, I could bake him up some fresh bread and take him some fruit.
It's not a bad idea. Now, you know, if old Tidewater is laid up in that bed for 6 weeks, he's going to get bored. I think I'll get him a good book. How about you, Nicodemus?
Yeah, a time bomb.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, I'm just funning. Well, he got mad in the first place because his buggy wasn't ready, and I reckon I could fix his buggy up for him.
Yeah, sounds like a great idea. You know, if we do all this, the love of God is going to soften old Tidewater's heart and do something good in him.
Well, I reckon I better get started.
Yeah, I better get a looking for that book. You know how picky old Tidewater is.
And I'll get the bacon.
Company, please come in.
Hello, Mr. Tidewater.
Oh, Miss Lana, listen, if you came by to make a payment, you could have done that at the bank.
Oh, that's not why I came.
Oh, well, that figures.
What's that?
Nothing. Listen, what do you have there?
Well, I made you some homemade bread and brought you some fresh fruit.
Well, that was very,
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Howdy, Mr. Tidewater.
Nicodemus, I am not changing my mind.
Oh, I didn't come here to talk about that loan.
Oh, I suppose you came to taunt a man on his sickbed.
No, I came to deliver your buggy.
My buggy?
Yeah, I got it all fixed up for you.
You fixed my buggy?
Yeah. Oh, I noticed something. The oil seemed a little low. You might check it.
What?
And I got your buggy keys right here.
Huh? But I'm in no condition to dicker over your salary.
I didn't come here to argue about my salary. Mr. Tidewater, I heard about your leg. And when I found out about that, I felt like you might want something to read while you're laid up here in bed. Here's your book.
A book? From me? From you?
Yeah, and I think you'll find that book particularly interesting. It's called How to Double Your Bank's Assets in 12 Easy Steps.
Oh, yes. Now, wait just a minute. I don't understand this. Why are you people being so nice to me? Why, I was instrumental in getting your salary cut. I was rude to Miss Lana, and I failed to give Nicodemus that loan that he wanted. Now, I don't understand this.
Well, Nicodemus and Lana and myself are all Christians, and you know that. We got to follow the teachings of the Lord. And Mr. Tidewater, the Lord tells us that we're to love our enemy, the people we don't always see eye to eye with. We're supposed to love them. We don't always see eye to eye with you, but we're going to love you.
Me?
Hey, Mr. Tidewater. Elmer, what are you doing with my bank ledgers? And my hat? And my pen?
Well, I knowed you couldn't get down to the bank, so I thought I'd help you out and balance your books.
Oh, Sheriff, help?
Oh, I got to be going, Mr. Tidewater. I'll see you later.
Oh, no.
I hear the Holy Ghost talking and he's lifting up Jesus. I hear the Holy Ghost talking, he's lifting up Jesus. I hear the Holy Ghost talking and he's lifting up Jesus. And he's lifting me too. He's lifting me too. I hear the Holy Ghost talking, he's lifting up Jesus. I hear the Holy Ghost talking and he's lifting up Jesus. Yeah, I hear the Holy Ghost talking and he's lifting up Jesus. And he's lifting me too. He's lifting me too, yeah. I hear the Holy Ghost talking, he's lifting up Jesus. I hear the Holy Ghost talking, he's lifting up Jesus. I hear the Holy Ghost talking and he's lifting up Jesus. And he's lifting me too. He's lifting me too. Yeah. Look out. I hear the Holy Ghost talking and he's lifting up Jesus. Yeah. I hear the Holy Ghost talking. He's lifting up Jesus. Ooh, I hear the Holy Ghost talking and he's lifting up Jesus. And he's lifting me too. Yeah, he's lifting me too.
Howdy, I'm Gospel Bill, and this is Dry Gulch, USA. And I want to invite you to a week of camp this summer that you'll never forget. When you come to Dry Gulch, USA, you can stay in a log cabin that looks just like an Old West storefront. But there's a lot more to Dry Gulch, USA than just eating and sleeping. Our camp has more than 1.25 miles shoreline on beautiful Lake Hudson. And it's just a perfect place for a canoe ride. You can go fishing and swimming. But maybe you're the kind who would prefer to ride horses or ride in the county jail wagon. You might enjoy visiting Chief Nuwanusin for an exciting campfire story or hunt animal targets on the Chief's trail. Then there's time for a shooting contest and hiking trails. Hey, there's plenty to do at Dry Gulch, USA, but the most important reason for coming is so you can grow strong in the Lord.
For more information on Camp Dry Gulch, USA, call 918-234-5656.
Coming up next, Jim and Margaret get a pleasant surprise when an old schoolmate pays them a visit on Father Knows Best. Then at 8:30 Eastern, stay tuned for the comedic capers of that harried housekeeper Hazel, here on the Family Channel.
I hope you break the other one.
on the Gospel Bill Show.
Let's see now. What are the things that lead to the downfall of every lawman? First, there's bribery, and now sheriff isn't interested in that. He wasn't interested in the liquor. Cornpone, looking at your face gives me an idea. Police brutality.
What?
It's Adventures in Dry Gulch, featuring the Sheriff Gospel Bill, his sidekick, Nicodemus, the general store owner, Miss Lana, good old Elmer Barnes, banker and mayor, T.U. Tidewater, and the entire Dry Gulch gang.
What? Well, this is wonderful. A railroad is coming to Dry Gulch. Cornpone, get in here and make it quick. Oh, a railroad. That's all I need to complete my little kingdom. Cornpone, something wonderful is coming to town.
Oh, really? Is your mommy coming?
No, my mommy is not coming. I'm talking about real progress, Cornpone.
Ooh. Is the Sagebrush Cafe going to put in a drive-through window?
No, the Sagebrush Cafe is not putting in a drive-through window. This is real progress, Cornpone. A railroad is coming into Dry Gulch.
A railroad with a real choo-choo.
Would you stop that? Here we have a chance to make some real money, and you're acting like a dimwitty, Cornpone.
Ooh, just think, Mr. Bedlow. We can go from Dry Gulch to Dodge City, and then from Dodge City back to Dry Gulch. Ooh, we can have a Sunday picnic.
Cornpone, we're not going to have a Sunday picnic. We're going to make money. You know what this railroad means. Folks will be pouring into town from back east. Railroad workers will have payroll checks to spend everywhere. Cornpone, we've got to create some places for those folks to invest their money. Places like dance halls, gambling casinos, and saloons, Cornpone.
In Dry Gulch?
Even in Dry Gulch, the color of money is still green. But we do have one little obstacle.
The sheriff.
For once, you're right. Give yourself a nickel, Cornpone. Now, I've got to get rid of that sheriff so I can operate my little scheme. I think we'll use a little temptation this time. And no matter how long it takes, or what you have to do, Cornpone, we're gonna find that sheriff's weakness. With a railroad coming to town, there's lots of money to be made. We gotta make a place for those folks to spend their dough, Cornpone. Dance halls, gambling casinos, and saloons. But we've got to get rid of that sheriff. If I know him, he'll stand in the way of everything we try to do to bring progress. Now, what is it that we can use to tempt that sheriff and get rid of him? Why didn't I think of this before? Cornpone, what is it that's closer to my heart than anything else in all the world?
Well, gee, Mr. Bedlow, I don't think the sheriff needs a new horse.
I'm not talking about a horse, Cornpone. I'm talking about the elixir of life. I'm talking about the oil that greases the wheels of progress. Cornpone, I'm talking about money. Now, I can't very well tempt the sheriff to get out of town by offering him money. So I'll need someone who's innocent, someone void of intellect, someone born without a brain. No one fits that description any better than you, Cornpone.
Why, Mr. Bedlow, thank you for the compliment.
Yeah, the sheriff wouldn't expect anything sinister coming from you. Now, you take this money, and you wave it under his nose. You tell him that he can keep it on 2 conditions. Number 1, he quits his job as sheriff. Number 2, he leaves Dry Gulch immediately. You got that, Cornpone?
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Bedloe. I go into town and I give this money to the sheriff. And, let's see, gee, he could have all kinds of fun with it. Boy, he could have a party for his friends. He could maybe take some of them out to lunch.
That's not what I had in mind, Mr. Cornpone. You tell the sheriff he can keep the money on 2 conditions. Number 1, he quits his job. And number 2, he leaves town. You got that?
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Bedloe. You can count on me.
All right, Cornpone. Now get after it. Go tempt the sheriff. That sheriff ought to listen to this little offer. Well, that's more money than he makes in an entire year. After all, everyone's moved by money because money makes the world go round, the world go round, the world go round. Money makes the world go round, the world go round. Yeah. Money, money, money. Cornpone, I hadn't seen you in quite some time.
Well, Sheriff, I've been really busy.
You know, I guess Mr. Bedloe does keep you hard at work all the time, doesn't he?
Well, that's beside the point. Anyway, Sheriff, I've recently come into a large sum of money, and I was trying to think what I might possibly do with it, and well, the thought came to my mind that I could give it to you, and you could take an extended vacation with it.
Oh, you'd like for me to take that money and quit my job and leave town?
Why, Sheriff, we're thinking the same thing.
But we're not thinking the same thing, Mr. Cornpone. I'm thinking that that's bribery of a law officer. That brings 5 to 10 years in the territorial prison.
My mistake, Sheriff.
Well, you have a nice day, and you tell old Mr. Bedloe that I said hello.
Bedloe who?
Mr. Bedloe, you're an architect of evil. I got big plans for the buildings at Dry Gulch. That church, I'll turn into a saloon. Oh, boy. Oh, good. Here comes Cornpone with some wonderful news, I hope. Now, let's see. City Hall would make a wonderful dance hall, and I can turn the library into a gambling casino. Well, Cornpone, what did the sheriff say? What's the good news, boy?
Well, Mr. Bedloe, he wasn't interested. He didn't want the money.
What? The sheriff didn't want my money? Wait a minute. If he didn't want my money, where is it, Cornpone?
Oh.
What? Don't tell me you've lost my money? Cornpone, don't tell me you lost my money. Where's my money?
Ooh.
Cornpone. Yeah, you've been using that greasy kid stuff again. Now, we've got to think of something to tempt that sheriff. What is it? Cornpone, what is it that drags men into the gutter every day of the year?
Marriage. We'll find him a wife.
No, Cornpone, no, it's not marriage. It's even worse than that.
You're not going to send him to school.
Cornpone, not even I am that evil. Now listen, I've got something that'll tickle the sheriff's whiskers. It's Hooch, Cornpone, white lightning. Why, the last time I saw him, he looked a little thirsty.
Speaking of thirsty, I'm a little thirsty myself, Mr. Bedloe.
Yeah, don't you touch the stuff, Cornpone. Your brain's pickled already. You make sure this goes to the sheriff. Now get over there and tempt him with that liquor, Cornpone. You got that? Now, when that sheriff takes a snort of that liquor, he'll get hooked. And the next thing you know, we won't have to worry about him resigning. The people of Dry Gulch will boot him out of office because he'll be a bumbling idiot drunk.
Come in.
Hello, Sheriff.
Orville Cornpone. Well, what is it this time?
Well, you know, it's a really hot day out today, and I was in town, and your face came to my mind, and, well, I wanted to bring you something to cool you off. It's my apple cider.
Apple cider, is it? Orville, this is moonshine whiskey.
My apple cider turned to liquor?
Orville, this is illegal. Now listen, I suggest that if you don't want to go to the territorial prison, you get out of my jail and take your temptation and your apple cider with you.
Yes, sir.
Tell old Bedloe I said hello.
Hurry up, Cornpone. The railroad's coming, son. The railroad's coming. I gotta get busy building my saloons. Oh, good. There he is now. Oh, I can see it now. The sheriff took his first snort, and he's a drunk. And he resigns from office. No, he gets booted out. That's even better. Well, Cornpone, back for a refill already, I see. The sheriff took to the hooch that quick, huh?
Well, not exactly, Mr. Bedloe.
What do you mean, not exactly?
Well, he wasn't interested. He even threw me out of his office.
Threw you out of his office? It's bad news, Cornpone. Well, I don't know what we're going to do to get to that sheriff. Let's see now. What are the things that lead to the downfall of every lawman? First, there's bribery, and our sheriff isn't interested in that. And he wasn't interested in the liquor. Cornpone, looking at your face gives me an idea. Police brutality.
What?
Yeah, police brutality, Cornpone. You go out and you find the sheriff, and you bug him, you pester him, you get under his skin like you do me. And then the sheriff hits you.
Hits me? Well, what good's that gonna do anybody?
Cornpone, if the sheriff hits you and beats up on you, we sue him for police brutality. We boot him out of office for picking on you, Cornpone.
But what about me?
Oh, don't worry about that, Cornpone. The more beat up you get, the better. And if you survive the attack, nothing to worry about. I'll pay for 10% of your medical bills.
Oh, very generous of you, Mr. Bedloe.
Now listen, Cornpone. Get out there and bug that sheriff. Get under his skin. Start a fight, Cornpone. Now go to it, son.
Okay, dokey.
Now, go on. Take your okie-dokie and get to it. I can see it now. Sheriff guilty of police brutality. Booted out of office. And then I make money.
Thank you, Charlie. These look real good.
Well, there you are, you mean person.
Mean person, huh?
Yeah, you're rotten all the way down to your boots.
Rotten to the boots.
That's right, and besides that, your shirt is wrinkled.
Well, Cornpone, thanks for pointing it out to me.
Well, doesn't that make you mad at me or want to hit me or something?
No, not really.
No. Well, take that.
Hey, Cornpone, what is this?
Take that.
Come on, what are you trying to do?
Well, doesn't that make you want to hit me, like, right here?
No, it doesn't make me want to hit you right there.
Well, what are you going to do?
Well, if you keep this crazy stuff up, I'm going back to my jail, I'm going to sit down in my chair, and I'm going to have the best laugh I've had in a long time. See you later.
Well, come back here, you coward! Chicken! Scaredy cat!
Ooh, there's a lot to think about in running an empire. I gotta hire a band for my dance hall. And then I've gotta order kegs of whiskey for my saloon. And how many gaming tables, decks of cards, and dice will I need for my gambling casino? Cornpone, you're walking. You don't look beat up. Let me see your face. It doesn't look any worse than it normally does. What happened, Cornpone? Did you tempt that sheriff?
Yes, but he wouldn't hit me.
What? He wouldn't hit you? Well, what did you do?
Well, I talked bad about him. I insulted him. I hit him, and I even kicked him. That was brutal.
And the sheriff didn't do a thing? Well, Cornpone, you failed me, boy. I mean, every time I send you to tempt that sheriff, you come back without any good news at all. Maybe I'm going about this thing the wrong way. Hey, I know what I'm doing wrong.
when you want to tempt somebody, don't ever use an enemy. The best way to get to that sheriff is through his friends. Yeah, through a friend. Cornpone, I think it's time you and I paid a little visit to the man with the turned-up hat.
Right behind you, Mr. Bedlow.
Yeah, we'll keep it that way. Come on, Cornpone.
That don't beat all. Since the railroad's come into town, the interest rates just went sky high.
Cornpone, here's our man, Gospel Bill's friend. Nicodemus, you're just the feller I wanted to see.
Bedlow, what are you doing in town again?
Well, actually, I came to see you because I have some grave concerns about your sheriff's well-being.
Oh, really? Well, since when have you been concerned about anything but yourself?
Well, I have you to know that I have turned over a new leaf. Hallelujah. Anyway, I just was a little concerned about what would happen to your sheriff once that railroad comes to town.
Well, what does the sheriff's welfare have to do with the railroad coming to town?
Well, I don't think you understand. Once that railroad gets here, Dry Gulch is going to be a different place. There's going to be the meanest, low-downest, rottenest, no-goodest outlaws, hoodlums, and thugs there's ever been in any town in the whole West.
Well, Gospel Bill's handled folks like that before. I don't think he'll have any problem.
These are not respectable outlaws. These guys are the kind of fellas that set ambushes and shoot sheriffs in the back.
Really? What can we do?
Well, if I were Gospel Bill's friend, I'd try to persuade him into taking up sheriffing in some small town that doesn't have a railroad.
Yeah, but wait a minute, Bedlow. Is this one of your tricks?
Honest to goodness, boy, this is no trick. We only have the sheriff's best interests at heart.
Well, maybe I could put a little bug in Gospel Bill's ear.
I sure think you'd be doing the right thing.
Okay.
Cornpone, it worked. Now we've got the sheriff's friends working for us. Let's go have a little visit with Miss Lana.
Gospel Bill, have you ever been concerned about your own personal safety?
Nicodemus, I think that's taken care of.
Maybe up to now it has. But the railroad is coming to town, and who knows what kind of unseemly varmints are going to be coming in. Why, just picture this. You're on your daily rounds around town, checking locks on the doors. All of a sudden, somebody comes up on your blind side, and bam, they let you have it.
Nicodemus, we don't have any outlaws that bad.
Well, maybe we haven't up to now, but the railroad is going to bring the nastiest of the nasties. Well, I know up to now it's been somebody wants to fight with you. They just come up and say, "Draw, Sheriff." But then it'll be, they'll see, oh, there's a sheriff. Let's let him have it.
Sheriff, I've really been concerned about you. I mean, I've been thinking, don't you think it's time you moved on to a nice, quiet, peaceful town? A town without a railroad?
Lana, who have you been talking to?
Well...
Come on, Lana, who have you been talking to?
Well, kind of an unlikely source. Luther Bedlow.
That's what I thought. How about you, Nicodemus? Who you been talking to?
Luther Bedlow.
Yeah, well, that's just about what I had figured. That Luther, he never gives up. He'd do anything to get me to leave Dry Gulch. Well, for your information, the railroad is going to miss this town entirely. The survey team just stopped in, happened to say they're moving 50 miles to the north. Now, since Mr. Bedlow is so concerned about my personal well-being, maybe I ought to just step out and have a little visit with him face to face.
Okay. Well, I guess we can go.
Well, now that the sheriff's friends are working for us, it won't be long till he turns in that badge, Cornpone.
Excuse me, Mr. Bedlow, gotta go.
Cornpone, get back here. We're about to be rich.
Luther Bedlow, what are you doing in this town?
Oh, I assure you, Sheriff, that I have nothing but the most honorable intentions in mind.
What honorable intentions could you have in mind?
Well, you see, Sheriff, I'm really concerned about your welfare once that railroad hits town.
Yeah, well, what do you mean by that?
Well, that railroad's gonna bring in the meanest cutthroats in the West. Well, Sheriff, these guys are the kind of men that shoot lawmen in the back.
Since when have you ever been concerned about lawmen?
Honest, Sheriff, I have no other intentions. How could I stand to gain from this railroad?
Well, it doesn't matter. The new survey says it's going to miss Dry Gulch by 50 miles.
What? It's not coming to town? Oh, no. That changes everything. No saloon, no dance halls, no gambling casinos. Ah!
Too bad, Luther. Looks like you lose again. Howdy, I'm Gospel Bill, and this is Dry Gulch, USA. And I want to invite you to a week of camp this summer that you'll never forget. When you come to Dry Gulch, USA, you can stay in a log cabin that looks just like an Old West storefront. But there's a lot more to Dry Gulch, USA than just eating and sleeping. Our camp has more than 1.25 miles shoreline on beautiful Lake Hudson. And it's just a perfect place for a canoe ride. You can go fishing and swimming. But maybe you're the kind who would prefer to ride horses or ride in the county jail wagon. You might enjoy visiting Chief Nuwanison for an exciting campfire story or hunt animal targets on the Chief's trail. Then there's time for a shooting contest and hiking trails. Hey, there's plenty to do at Dry Gulch, USA, but the most important reason for coming is so you can grow strong in the Lord.
For more information on Camp Dry Gulch, USA, call 918-234-5656.
You know, the Bible tells us that when we're tempted, we're not tempted by God, but we're tempted by the devil. You see, the devil's business is to put thoughts and ideas into your mind to try to get you to do wrong. Now, most of the time, you can recognize what he's trying to get you to do. When you know something is wrong, be sure that that thought or idea came from the devil. But the devil has a very sneaky way of tempting people. Sometimes he sneaks up on you with a little bitty mask, and he tempts you with your friends. If you're not careful, you wind up doing wrong things because your friends are asking you to do it. And you know what? Even though your friends may be asking you to do wrong, it's still the devil who is behind the temptation. So you learn to say no to wrong, no matter who it is that tries to get you to do it. Even if that temptation comes from a friend, say no to it, because Satan sometimes uses friends to try to get you to do wrong.
Cartoon adventures through the pages of the Superbook, coming up next. And at 9:30 Eastern, news by, for, and about kids on Kids World, here on the Family Channel.